Oh no! Oh no! Oh!
All right, everybody, this is the Pro Wrestle Zone right here on WON Sports YouTube. Of course, I am Rick Del Santo. I'm joined by Talkin Tommy Sabin. Tommy, how's it going?
Doing very, very well, Professor. Good to see you. Thank you for inviting me back to PWZ. It's always a pleasure to be here. And thank you to all the loyal PWZ fans out there for tuning in and supporting the Professor and supporting PWZ and supporting independent wrestling. Sorry, Professor. I know that's your favorite line. I beat you to it.
You did beat me to it. Support independent wrestling. Got to throw that in at the end. And hashtag support independent wrestling. But I just want to tell you that thank you for tuning in every Sunday, 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time on WON Sports. And don't forget, also YouTube. We are expanding, so keep an eye out on all our social medias to view us across the country. So we will be shown. If you guys are listening to the podcast version on Apple, please give us a 5-star review. And, of course, Spotify. Like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Of course, Talkin Tommy's here. We're going to be talking about the return of Richard Holliday, his first match back at Rarefied Air, which was hosted by his home, Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling. And we're going to be talking about this past weekend's Coliseum Pro Wrestling event. And later, we're going to be joined by the new Coliseum Pro Wrestling Tag Team Champions in the second hour. So, Tommy, we had a great weekend of professional wrestling, did we not?
Certainly. It all started Friday night. This past Friday, June the 9th in West Haven at the Elks Lodge for Coliseum Pro Wrestling, the second edition of Course of Honor. It was a historic night. It was probably, I think, one of the biggest CPW events that we have ever had. Not only crowd-wise, we had a packed house. I don't recall seeing any empty chairs. The Elks was packed. It was loud. It was energetic. And we had a lot of hard-fought matches. A lot of history was made. A couple of new champions were crowned.
Yep.
We saw, probably one of the craziest matches in CPW history. And, who knows how this match will ever be topped. Of course, I'm talking about Sunset Steve Garcia and Fly Nine Noriega of Paid in Full and the brother versus brother unsanctioned match. That match was, it left me speechless. It left Professor and you and Kells on the commentary table. It left you guys speechless. It left all of West Haven speechless. Hell, it even left Edric Cash, who's there in support of Fly Night, left him speechless too. But you know something, Fly Night did everything that he said he was going to do last week on PWZ. He said he was going to bury his brother, and he delivered. He was a man of his word. What a night that was, though, Professor.
That match, I have to say, it was insane. Me and Kells, the Sensation Kells, my broadcast partner for Coliseum Pro Wrestling, I literally called it a war several times during commentary. And I got to tell you, man, it was just Steve's wife came out throwing the towel for Steve's safety. I will say that, but this was not after.
He was handcuffed.
This was not after Steve took a hell of a beating from his brother, Fly Nine Noriega. There was doors involved. There was all sorts of weapons. There was blood at one point.
Yeah.
I just couldn't believe it. But I do want to push something. I'm going to go down below and subscribe to Coliseum Pro Wrestling's YouTube channel. Sunday, July 25th. Course of Honor 2023 will be streaming. It was recorded. It's now edited. It's going to be streaming on YouTube. as well as we're looking into some other outlets to get it out there as well to stream. So if you want to see an incredible professional wrestling event, this is it. We had such a great evening. Like I said, packed house. The Elks Lodge was packed, wall to wall, the whole entire evening.
That's right. It was unbelievable. It was loud, like I said, energetic, and the fans were into it. I think also obviously want to give a shout out to all the amazing sponsors that we had. I don't think we ever had that many sponsors for a show. It was incredible. The amount of sponsors we had a lot of fun. We did some trivia. We had a few giveaways.
Yep.
So it was definitely a fun night. It was a great start to the weekend. And like I said, we talked about Flying Eye and Sunset Steve. It was unbelievable. Flying Eye put his brother through a door. Sunset put his brother through a door. A chair shot to the face, and Flying Eye was busted open. Had the old classic crimson mask, if you will. But yeah, as we said in the end, Sunset was handcuffed, hands behind his back, center of the ring, and Flying Eye with a bulldog choke. And Mrs. Garcia, his Flying Eye sister-in-law, couldn't bear to see that anymore, especially with Sunset's kids also in attendance watching that. So she did what she had to do. She threw in the towel, and that was the end. Q the Ref put a stop to that one. Shout out to Q the Ref as well, who officiated that match. What a job by him, for doing his absolute best to keep things under control when it was rather difficult to keep things under control in an unsanctioned match. So shout out to the Ref, and shout out to all of the CPW fans for being alive, and as Flying I would say, for looking alive during that match, because it's definitely going down as one of the biggest matches in CPW history. There was no bigger build-up, no bigger story to tell than between those two men.
If you want to watch a little bit more of this and learn a little bit more about this before the streaming event, July 25th on the Coliseum Pro Wrestling YouTube channel, go ahead on to the Coliseum social medias. There is a 4 or 5 part video series. They're probably about 5 or 6 minutes each of Flying Eye and Edric Cash and Sunset Steve leading up to this event, and they're very emotional. It reveals a lot, so you will find out a lot and prepare yourself for going into this matchup.
Absolutely.
So let's see. Let's run down some more of the card, and then we're going to move on. But the opening match was, let me get this right. Was this Jay Vara and Alan Bano? Alan Bano has been making waves here for a few shows here, right? Was this his second or third match for Coliseum? I'm trying to remember.
I believe this was his third. His debut match for CPW was in a losing effort to now CPW heavyweight champion No Mercy Hunter Tarka.
Correct.
And then he picked up a victory at Opportunity for Success 2 over who did he defeat?
You got me on that one. I'd have to go back and watch the videotape. If you give me 2 seconds.
So it was back in April. It was one of the Monster Factory boys. One of our friends from Monster Factory.
Give me 2 seconds and I will find it. Keep going.
But yeah, so tonight, tonight, June 9th at Course of Honor 2, Alan Bano, anytime Alan Bano, tried to spoil the debut of the complete one, Jay Vera. However, he was unsuccessful. Jay Vera picked up the win and had a very successful debut for CPW.
It's really awkward. I do not see it here in my history at all. I usually upload all of those events to my YouTube. Let's just double check the rest. Jay Barra made his debut.
It is bothering me because it was one of our good friends from Monster Factory. We get a lot of our buddies from down in Jersey, from Monster Factory, and I don't know why I'm drawing a blank here.
I hate when that happens. Well, this is what's the name of the show?
And before fans start calling me an asshole, I'm not forgetting the name. I'm just trying to remember. Was it Bobby Buffet? Was it Sean Van Orr? You know, it's like it was one of the guys from Monster Factory. I'm trying to remember who it was. I know all their names. I just don't remember who it was that Alan Bano picked up the win on.
Yeah, I don't see it here. Even on their channel, I don't see it listed here. So we're gonna have to go back. I'm gonna put that in the comments, by the way, just or put it out on the social media when this comes out. But let's not forget, we also had another great match, another debuting talent for this one, Double G. First time I ever saw him, he took on the Johnny Santos, who's been making waves throughout the northeastern part of the United States. He's made some other appearances for organizations, Paradise Alley. We've seen him. We're going to be talking about Paradise Alley a little bit later, as we stated. I've seen him on Wrestling Open. I've seen him work some Victory Pro matches. I believe that's out of Jersey, if I remember correctly. But yeah, man, he's a quite the talented individual, Johnny Santos.
Yeah, El Jefe, Johnny Santos representing Dominican Republic against Double G representing Puerto Rico. So it was a pretty interesting rivalry, you know, to kick things off there between the two of them. In the end, it was El Jefe, Johnny Santos picking up the win. And a very impressive match. This was the first time I'd seen Double G live in action. I was very impressed with his performance. I've seen Santos on numerous occasions, and he never fails to disappoint in the ring. So hats off to both competitors. But yes, it was El Jefe, Johnny Santos picking up the victory for the Dominican Republic over Double G and Puerto Rico.
In a tag team match, the Haven made their debut as a tag team for Coliseum Pro. Now, Sean Knight's been there on, I believe, 2 occasions as a singles wrestler, but this is Jay Onyx's debut and the Haven as a tag team debut. They took on young up-and-coming tag team, the Vetrano brothers, who I believe are now 0-9 as their record. They are a very good young up-and-coming team. They just can't seem to get that win. The Haven obviously beat them. They are more experienced, former Paradise Alley tag team champions. They've been they worked for Wrestling Open out of Worcester, Mass. They've worked all over the country. Really, they're one of the hottest tag teams in the United States these days in the independent scene. But Mook and Stock, I think, are very talented young tag team. Just got to get to that next level and get that first victory, and then I think that things will be, people will be able to see that they're serious.
Right. I do believe that all it takes is one. Once you get that first one under your belt, then it's going to be smooth sailing going forward. So the Vetrano brothers have been, in their first 2 matches here at CPW, they've put up great fights. They've been so close, but so far. And I think, though, for them, like I said, all it's going to take is one win. Once they get that first victory under their belt, they are going to be smooth sailing right through. And they're gonna be a name that you got to keep an eye on in terms of tag team wrestling. So, hats off to them for another impressive effort. But you know what? It's great experience to be in the ring with a team like Hustle and Muscle, and then a team like the Haven with so much experience. And for them as a young team, it's only going to go up from here from them. So they got to keep their heads up and keep looking ahead at what's next for them.
You know who they remind me of? And I was having this discussion. El Hebrew, Emmy was there selling. He had a table set up in the corner. He was one of the sponsors, and we were having this discussion. It's like he said that they remind him of the British Bulldogs quite a bit, and I was saying that, and me and Harry Davila from Blood, Sweat, and Tears Wrestling at the previous event were talking about how they look like they're heart trained style with their style. Like Owen, Brett, yeah. And so that's what what their style looks like, and with that kind of style, I think that they can go really far.
Wrestling fans, promoters, wrestlers, and anyone who enjoys pro wrestling now have something new to be excited about. The Wrestling Fans International Association, the WFIA, is back. WFIA is an association that exists to promote, grow, and support professional wrestling throughout the world. Membership is free. Your membership includes a free digital bi-monthly publication of the Wrestling Fan News newsletter, association updates, voting privileges, and much more. Please go to thewfia.org, that's THEWFIA.org, and become a member today.
Available on all streaming platforms. It's professional wrestling's greatest, largest, privately owned wrestling library. All the classic hits, flips, slams, and pins of yesteryear are on one place. It's Ultimate Classic Wrestling. Check out the Nature Boy Ric Flair, Hulk Hogan, Mr. USA Tony Atlas, Tito Santana, Rick Martel, a who's who of professional wrestling's greatest spotlight stars ever to grace the squared circle, all in one place. Grab the best seat in the house for memories and mayhem on Ultimate Classic Wrestling.
All right, so the premier, Luis Leon, defeated the young up-and-comer Jermaine Marbury, who's, he has a couple wins under his belt. He's still relatively new into the wrestling business. Probably, a handful of matches? Probably 10 or so, maybe less?
Yeah, maybe about that. I think I like to think of myself as probably the biggest fan of Jermaine Marbury because I consistently talk about him nonstop. I've been with Jermaine Marbury since the very beginning for him when he started out training at Paradise Alley. Marbury, let me tell you, I tell him this all the time. I says, I'm not blowing smoke up your ass. He is the future of this business. He really is. He's the future over at Paradise Alley, the future of CPW. He gets the crowd going, man. It's incredible to see how much the fans admire and love what he does in the ring. He's incredibly talented. You could just see all the passion that he has in his eyes, that he loves what he's doing. He loves putting smiles on people's faces. And there are so many good things that are going to be coming his way in a very short period, I believe, because he's been putting up incredible matches with, rookies like himself, with guys pretty much in their prime, and even with storied veterans, so he's been making a name for himself. He is getting his name out there, and I am just incredibly proud to see how far he has come in just a short period of time since making his debut. And he is someone that people need to remember that name, Jermaine Marbury, because he is the future of this business.
And not for nothing, he's also one of the nicest human beings you'll ever meet.
Absolutely, he really is. It's you get the best of both worlds. You get an incredible wrestler, but you get an even better person out of him. And he put up a good fight against the premier, Luis Leon. Leon, who he was on bit of a small losing streak at CPW. He desperately needed a win, and he picked up a very impressive victory over Marbury, a much-needed win for him. So hats off to Luis Leon as well. Hats off to both men for an incredible match, a match that I initially said was a sleeper for match of the night, a match I was incredibly excited about from start to finish. I know I talked about it last week. This was a match that I was mostly looking forward to. So I can't tell you. Those two men absolutely delivered. Hats off to both, but double hats off to Luis Leon for the victory.
I remember when Marbury was just taking jackets back from the ring to the backstage at Paradise Alley as a trainee, just sitting there and observing, sitting in the crowd. And he always said hello. He was always very respectful. Got up, shook, and came over, said hello, shook my hand, and that says something a lot. That says a lot in the wrestling business. Absolutely,
respect goes a long way.
Absolutely. Speaking of Luis Leon, I do want to congratulate him for last night. It happened on Showcase Pro Wrestling. He is the new YouTube World Champion for Showcase Pro Wrestling. So just want to give a shout out to Luis Leon, the premier. That's another guy, man. We've spoken about him, I think, a couple times on this show, and he is another great young and up and coming wrestler, and he's got a bright future ahead of him.
I know. Listen, I know a lot of people like to boo him, but let me tell you something. You better respect him because he knows what he's doing in that ring, and he's a name that you got to keep an eye on as well. I spoke with him after post-match. I had a little post-match interview with him back at CPW, and I kind of asked, how you feeling? What's next? And he talked about he's got his eyes on the prize, whether that's Hunter Tarka and the CPW championship, whether that's the Strongwell championship, or if he finds a partner, it could be the tag team titles. Whatever it is, he's got his sights set on gold, and he's definitely got the momentum after picking up a much-needed victory over Marbury. So it's something people got to look out for. Respect the premier. He's someone that's making a name for himself, rightfully so, and he's another guy it's only going to go up from here for him, especially now becoming a champion. So congrats to him.
Congrats. Of course, the CPW Coliseum Pro Tag Team Championships changed hands. We'll be talking to the new champions a little bit later in the broadcast. Hustle and Muscle, the team of Jay Bricks and Richard E. Stone, defeated Co-Avenue Killers of Jake Lynn and Lorenzo Vendetta. Of course, Jake Lynn had his knee smashed early on, really couldn't continue. Then, of course, made the effort to come back a little bit later in the match. After that time, Hustle and Muscle worked over Lorenzo Vendetta for a good, 5, 6, 7 minutes? Worked him over pretty good.
That sounds about right, but obviously in Lorenzo Vendetta's case, it probably seemed a lot longer than that.
Yeah.
But yeah, in the end, Hustle and Muscle being the veteran team compared to the two, they took the opportunity. They saw with the injury to Jake Lynn, they had a huge opportunity, and they capitalized and they delivered, and they're your new CPW Tag Team Champions. Long overdue for them. Those are guys that have been putting in the work. They've been going all over the place, and they're two guys that anywhere and everywhere that they go, when you think of Hustle and Muscle, you should be thinking about Tag Team Gold. They should always be in that conversation, and now they have the championships to prove it, and but hats off to Lorenzo Vendetta and Jake Lynn, the Co-Av Killers. Straight from Mama Gooin. That's a little inside joke that not many people know. That maybe we'll, I don't know. Maybe I'll reveal that. But
go for it if you feel up to it.
So where Co-Avenue Killers comes from, as if people are aware, Lorenzo Vendetta and Jake Lynn were trained at Paradise Alley. And if you've ever been to a PAPW show, which I know a good deal of our audience here at PWC has, PAPW is located on Co Avenue in East Haven. And specifically, that area of East Haven is called Mamawgwin. And a while back, several months ago, after a show, I remember we were bringing the ring back and everything, and I believe it was Jake saw the sign of Mamawgwin, and was kind of like, "What's Mama Gooin?" And I had no idea what he was talking about until I saw the sign, and I just burst out laughing, and so that kind of turned into somewhat of an inside joke, but a lot of people have been filled in over time. And so when we say the Collab Killers, we say straight from Mama Gooin. So now everyone knows what Mama Gooin is. So when you go, if you go to PAPW, or if you go in the Mamawgwin area of East Haven and you see the sign, just think Mama Gooin. Think of Jake Lynn and Lorenzo Vendetta. Think of the Collab Killers.
This was a brutal match. I'm going to tell you, to be honest with you, of course, because Jake was taken out before the match even really started, I guess you can say. And from there, Hustle and Muscle was able to pick Lorenzo Vendetta apart. Jake Lynn came out. He was limping out, holding his knee, tried to get the feeling back in his knee. Got control for, probably about a minute before Hustle Muscle was able to basically interrupt that, and then they literally picked the team apart from there because of Jake Lynn's injury, and then they walked away with the new tag team champions.
Yep, and like I said, congrats to Richie and to Jay. Well deserved. They've been scratching and clawing at Tag Team Gold for quite some time.
Yeah,
and they have always been coming up short, and this time they delivered. So I'm excited to see the run that they're about to go on as the new heads of the tag team division in CPW. But of course, I want to give a shout out, obviously, to Lorenzo and Jake, the inaugural CPW tag team champions.
They held those belts for a year.
Holding the belts, for a year. It's very difficult to hold a championship belt for that long. So obviously big shout out to those two. And of course a big congrats to Hustle and Muscle, which obviously, Rick, as you said, they will be on later tonight to address the future of the CPW tag team division now that you've got Hustle and Muscle running things now as far as tag team wrestling in Coliseum Pro Wrestling.
We had Bobby Buffet and Prince Ahmed, and I got to tell you, this match, I'm a huge Bobby Buffet fan. I've seen Prince Ahmed a few times, but this match was what an incredible match this was. Honest to God, I could not believe it. I wasn't familiar, like I said, and this just, I didn't know what to expect, but man, it was on fire.
Yeah, so I've seen Bobby wrestle on numerous occasions, and Bobby never fails to disappoint in the ring. Prince Ahmed, that was a first for me. It was the first time me seeing Prince Ahmed, and I remember very vividly my good buddy, the Dapper One, Matt DeCourt, said, Tommy, you are in for one incredibly sweet treat with Prince Ahmed. He is incredible inside the squared circle. And I remember Matty said that match was his pick as the sleeper for match of the night. And both guys absolutely delivered. In the end, it was the big man, Bobby Buffet, picking up the victory. And, but it obviously props to Prince Ahmed, a very impressive debut in CPW. I can't believe Matty never lies to me. He's always truthful with his words. And he said, Tommy, be ready, watch very closely with Prince Ahmed. He's going to do some pretty incredible things in the ring. And he did. So he absolutely delivered. He lived up to the hype. And so shout out to Prince Ahmed. Very impressive debut. I look forward to seeing more of him at Coliseum. And of course, it's always a pleasure seeing Bobby Buffet. So what a match it was.
Absolutely. I couldn't believe my eyes throughout that entire match. I was just it was one of those matches through every submission hold that happened. It was an edge of your seat type maneuver. Yep. Absolutely. So, of course, we had a new Strong Will champion in Nutrius X as he defeated Chris Battle. Chris Battle held that belt for, you want to say about what, 9 months, 8 months? Roughly there. It was not a year like the Avenue Killers, but this match was a very good match. It was a little bit slower compared to the, Flying Eye and Sunset, but I got to tell you, and we have Nutrius X on here numerous occasions so far. He was on last week. He literally came out here and said that he knows he could beat Chris Battle. Of course, I wasn't doubting Nutrius X. I am a fan of his, and I was, as a ringside commentator, I need to stay neutral, unbiased. But I'm telling you, I wanted to see that title change because I am a huge fan of his. And as soon as the referee hit that mat for the third time, I almost jumped out of my seat from the commentary table. It was a very shocking moment.
Yeah, I remember vividly last week, PWZ. I remember his poor Nutrius X. His Wi-Fi, man, it kept cutting out. He kept freezing on us.
That was a rough episode. I had difficulties too.
It was definitely a rough episode.
Yeah,
but we got through it. And I remember I stated when it came to taking our picks for our matches. I said, with all due respect to Chris Battle, he is a veteran, as is Nutrius X. And Chris Battle is someone that I do think is very underrated and doesn't get the respect that he deserves at times.
Right.
But Nutrius X is not only a very impressive wrestler, but he has one of the smartest brains in this business that I have had the pleasure of working with. And I said that he's well aware that Chris Battle is coming back from an injury. And Nutrius X was Chris Battle's first match since being cleared to compete. So I kind of said, I think that coming back from that injury, that's going to play a big factor in this matchup. And I said, I think Nutrius X is going to capitalize, much like Hustle and Muscle capitalized on the injury of Jake Lynn. I do believe that, Nutrius was going to capitalize on that injury and was going to capture the CPW Strong World Championship and bringing gold back to his waist. And he delivered. And listen, I'm not a gambling man, but maybe I should have put something down on that because I was spot on. I was spot on right there, Professor. So yeah, congratulations to our new Strong World champion, Nutrius X. Looking forward to seeing him back and defend the title. But of course, shout out to Chris Battle as well, the inaugural CPW Strong World champion, who definitely held that title and defended it. And listen, he had some real tough competitors. Obviously, he won that belt in a triple threat match against Marcel Williams and Bloodsaw. So two veterans, two very talented veterans. He successfully has defended it against the likes of Dustin Waller. I mean, the list can go on. A lot of talented individuals Chris Battle has put the title up against, and he has walked out victorious. So he's definitely lived up to the name of the strong-willed champion. And, this time, though, did not go his way. Nutrius X, your new champion. But hats off to both men for an unbelievable main event at CPW Course of Honor.
Let's not forget, we have a very special announcement regarding Coliseum Pro Wrestling. August 4th is the return date at the Elks Lodge. in West Haven, Connecticut. You can go to all social medias, Coliseum Pro Wrestling, social media, Facebook, Twitter, and the other one, Instagram, and check it out. Of course, you can go to our social media as well. The PWZ Network on Instagram is our most popular one, and that is where we post the most. So check that out, and you will see all the updates. And I know that so far, a very special announcement is Hunter Tarka, the Coliseum Pro Wrestling World Heavyweight Champion, will be in action. Updates coming soon. Follow all social media platforms to get those updates. And we're going to be back in just a minute, and we're going to be talking some Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling.
Read about the Northern Wrestling Federation in the book presented by Wrestleville.com, The Pro Wrestling Vault, Volume 2. Hear the story of Roger Ruffin, the man who trained Carl Anderson, the Monster Abyss, Jordan Clearwater, Chris Harris, and Jillian Hall.
Plus 45 other short stories including Jazz, Bobby Eaton, Kamala, Thunder Rosa, Mario Mancini, Scott Casey, PJ Black, Kerry Morton, Sal Renaro, Jeremiah Plunkett, Colby Carino, Bam Bam Malone, and many others.
Get your book today at Wrestleville.com. Wrestleville. It's where wrestling lives.
We're back here on the PWZ on WON Sports. Tommy, we had another, you had a double shot weekend this past weekend.
Yes, I did. And boy, was this one very special and very emotional, and definitely touched my heart. Saturday, June 10th, I had the pleasure of sitting alongside my broadcast colleague, the GOC, one of my mentors, the PAPW Hall of Famer, the New England Pro Wrestling Hall of Famer, the Guardian of Chaos, Big Daddy. And he tells it like it is. He'll say that to say this. You know the lines. He and I had the pleasure of being live on Fight TV for most likely one of the biggest, if not the biggest, PAPW event in history. PAPW Rarefied Air. It came your way live from the JCC of Greater New Haven in Woodbridge, Connecticut. It was very bittersweet, as this marked the in-ring return of Richard Holliday. I think by this point, I'm pretty sure everyone is aware of the story. Richard Holliday last year entered the fight of his life. He was diagnosed with stage 4 lymphoma. But Holliday, who I remember he posted on Twitter that he was going to beat cancer. And Holliday, who has kind of came up with a saying, when you're breathing rarefied air, you fight. And he fought. And Holliday now, as of right here, right now, Holliday is 100% healthy and cancer-free and in remission. And we can't tell you how awesome it was to hear that news. And it was very emotional, but it was very special, and something that I know for a fact that I am going to be bragging about for the rest of my career, that I got to call Richard Holliday's return match with my good buddy, my mentor, the Guardian of Chaos. What a night that was. Him and Big Bacon Brad Hollister absolutely went to war on the main event of Rarefied Air. Holliday, it was just incredible. I can't really describe the emotions. There were times where I actually was pausing And, it's something I actually spoke to Holliday after the show, apologizing to him. When you go back and rewatch the match, I said, I apologize for the pauses. I was kind of trying to hold back my emotions because it was such a special night. I've known Holliday for quite a long time. He was someone that helped me get in when I was first starting in professional wrestling. As Talkin Tommy was born, he was one of the few that helped me. So I owe so much of my success to him. And just to be able to call his return match was such an honor. And, he came out, and, man, the standing ovation he got, it was just incredible. It was unbelievable. Goosebumps, Professor. Absolute goosebumps. To the fans that tuned in live on Fight TV, thank you. But, man, you had to be there in person to witness that greatness, to that energy, that feeling of Holliday walking through the curtain for the first time in almost a year. It was special. It really was. And I can't wait to see what's next for Holliday.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what's next. I'm very happy to see that he is doing well and he's healthy. It is a scary moment. I've encountered him numerous occasions. He's always been very nice to me. Might not even remember. Who knows? But, he is one of the top professional wrestlers, in my opinion, in the United States, if not the world. I think that he puts on some, fantastic matches, and he went through this rough battle. He put on a great match with Brad Hollister. And after the match, he had this really big, very emotional speech, which we're going to play right now.
Hey!
Holliday looks like a call for a microphone here.
Let's listen to what Richard
The man
Holliday
needs to
has to
speak to his
say.
consumers.
This ought to be an interesting speech here, Talkin Tommy. We love you, Holliday. Thank you, Holliday. Listen to the fans, Talkin Tommy.
Listen, I mean this from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. Oh, I'm exhausted. 352 days ago, I had what I didn't know at the time would be my last match. And I knew something was wrong, but I didn't really know what was wrong. And listen, I've spoken about it enough. You all know. This is not going to be a sob story by any means. In fact, if it's okay with you guys, I'd prefer to never talk about it ever again.
Yeah. Holliday.
I'm cognizant. I'm overwhelmingly cognizant of what I may represent every time I get through these ropes now. But that's okay, because I do believe in inconsequential inspiration, meaning that people can look at me and I may not know who they are. I may never meet them, but they can see my story and see what I do and get inspired for their own. And honestly, that's all is enough for me. Listen, I'd love to fight forever. If I learned one thing, is that forever unfortunately doesn't exist. But the time that you have here, please do the most that you can and do what you love, because what I love more than anything in this world, with the exception of my family, who's right here in attendance right now. Family, you got your number one, but number two, and a not so distant second, is professional wrestling. When I was 5 years old, my father brought me to the New Haven Coliseum to see a show, and at that moment, I knew when my first or second grade teacher asked me, "What do you want to do for the rest of your life?" I said, with a very puzzled look on their face, that I want to be a professional wrestler. Now listen, it's been a very long night. I appreciate the energy that you guys gave me. I just want to say a couple of thank yous. Thank you to Mario Mancini, Paul Roma, Paul Perez, and everybody who puts on Paradise Alley, because without them, and Big Steve Tracy, without all of them, I would not be here right now, and that is a fact. I want to thank all my brothers and sisters in the back who performed before me and set me up to have an incredible main event tonight. God, I missed having that main event here tonight in front of all of you. Guys, I can't thank you all enough. I'll leave you with this. And if it's a little cocky, you guys know me. When Richard Holliday is in the building, you're breathing rarefied air.
That's goddamn right, Big Daddy. Rarefied air has absolutely delivered. Ladies and gentlemen and fans of PAPW, we cannot thank you enough from Talkin Tommy.
And that was Richard Holliday. Don't forget Rarefied Air. You can go back and watch that on Fight TV on your phone, your Roku, your Fire Stick, anywhere, your web browser. Go get it. I think it is worth the price. We're not going to say the price, but it is worth the price for a fantastic night of professional wrestling. We can run down some of the matches here. A couple matches. We have a few more minutes left before Hustle and Muscle gets on. I hear your little buddy barking in the background. So
That's one of my dogs.
that's all right. So Sergeant Murray took on Gibbs, and what's with Gibbs and his new sidekicks, or should I say that he's the sidekick these days?
Who cares? Yeah. Zachariah Gibbs, scumbag. He turned his back on guys like Sarge. He turned his back on the U.S. You know, he took the money for some reason. You know, what Amish guy took the money from a dirty Arab in Zafar al-Rahihi and has now joined forces with Collusion? It's Zachariah Gibbs, it's Zafar al-Rahihi, and of course the PAPW Tag Team Champions, Aladdin, Ding Ding, the Pyramids of Power. I don't understand it really. I honestly could care less in a way. You know, it's listen, he chose the money over loyalty. But listen, he made that decision, and now he's got to face the consequences. And he had to do that when he stepped in the ring with the Hall of Famer, the Sarge himself, Sergeant Murray. Good way to open up the show too.
I've never met a man that loves his country more than Sergeant Murray, and Gibbs had to suffer for it. So he took that beating. Anyways, we had Bull Dread against was this the debuting Gal Barkey?
Did I say that right? Debut of the real life action figure who I mean speaks for itself. The real life action figure. He certainly looks like he just came out of the box of a Barbie set with as the Ken doll. Unbelievable. Great physique on him. I was incredibly impressed. It was very entertaining too. He had Jarrett Silberkleit in his corner with him. And both of them were very proud Jewish men and were very proud to be representing their culture at the Jewish Community Center. And Gal Barkey had his work cut out for him, though, because he had to go up against the legend, Bull Dread, the original Beast of New England, of course, with Gemma in his corner. Always great to see Gemma. And it was a very impressive match, a veteran going up against a very talented individual who I was somewhat familiar with. Gal Barkey. I knew of him. I had not seen a match of his before, but I was very excited to see what he was going to bring to the table, and what a pleasure it was to call his debut match for PAPW.
Let's see. We got a few more minutes here. We'll just run down these last few matches. We had Skylar Gray and Daje Simone. Now, how many times has she defeated? Has she wrestled in Paradise Alley before? Daje?
Yes. So Daje Simone, she competed 1-on-1 in a non-title match with Skylar Gray, back at the first edition of Bash at the Brewery, which PAPW was a little summer of fun show at Armada Brewing in New Haven. And Daji Simone picked up the upset. And so she scored a title shot at Rarefied Air, one-on-one with Skylar Gray. So, she definitely went into the match with a lot of confidence because she knew that she could beat the champ. And now she's got to do it, though, again, but this time with the title on the line. So it was very impressive. Speaking of championships, we had two other championship matches. Troy Stevens, the Air Guitar Wizard, defended the United States Championship against Chris Mooch. Originally, it was supposed to be Andy Sweet. Unfortunately, Andy Sweet suffered an injury. My understanding is a torn ACL. So I want to just quickly extend well wishes to Andy Sweet for a speedy recovery. Hope to see him back in the ring soon. Troy Stevens was still going to defend his title, and the replacement was found. Andy Sweet reached out to his good buddy Chris Mooch, and those two men threw down, and what a match it was. Another one I was excited about, a rivalry was renewed between Bloodsaw, the American Gothic Gone Wrong, Mr. Unchained Bloodsaw, as he challenged The Cure, Lucas Chase, Unleashed for the Intercontinental Championship. Those two have such a great history with one another, going back and forth one-on-one over the last couple of years. And this time there was a little more intensity as the title was on the line this time. So it was very exciting to see that. The other match, another one that we saw was the tag team champions, Aladdin Ding Ding, Pyramids of Power went up against The Haven. This was a non-title match. It was another impressive one to see. The Haven are back in PAPW. It's great to see them, the former two-time tag team champions. It was very exciting to see the Haven back in action in PAPW. And what better way to do it than on Fight TV, live on Fight TV.
Yeah.
And we talked about Jermaine Marbury earlier with CPW. Marbury once again had another match, this time against the Awesome Aussie, the Crocodile King, the Wonder from Down Under, Alan Compass, who, if you go back and watch, Alan Compass, definitely a very interesting, interesting choice of outfit. He
I was confused when I saw this. So, yeah.
He came out in a flamingo style romper. It was one of those male rompers, and there were flamingos all over it, and it was quite the sight to see. But it was also a sight to see him and Marbury go at it, because Marbury and Alan Compass, who have undoubtedly become two of the most popular performers and competitors at PAPW. And then to see them go at it one-on-one for the first time ever live on Fight TV was pretty extraordinary. So that was an exciting match. And I think there's one more that we did not touch up on, Professor, and that was some more women's action.
Yep. The Megasis, Megan Bain, and Nikki Duke. And I got to tell you, there's a reason why Megan Bain is possibly one of the most popular women wrestlers on the circuit today. This was an incredible, not to mention Nikki Duke is getting that all over the place. This was an amazing matchup, I do have to say.
Yeah, Nikki Duke, who just made her debut at Women of Wrestling.
Yep.
And Megan Bain, who, of course, she has been seen on AEW Dark, AEW Dark Elevation. The two of them, my understanding, they're friends. But yeah, back on June 10th, they were opponents. And it was very impressive to see, of course, the speed and agility of Nikki Duke, and, of course, the size and strength of Megasis Megan Bain. So it was kind of self-explanatory as to why she's called Megasis. Because me and Big Daddy, I tell you, fans, if you go back and watch, me and Big Daddy were in complete awe of the match. It was very impressive from start to finish. This show, Rarefied Air, absolutely delivered. I do want to just quickly say before, because I know we're just about out of time here, I do want to say on behalf of myself, Double T, Talkin Tommy, Big Daddy, as well as Dapper One Matt DeCourt, the announce team for Paradise Alley. Of course, want on behalf of Mario Mancini, Pretty Paul Roma, Paul Perez, Big Dave Paradise, aka Steve Tracy, the owners of Paradise Alley, and of course, the one and only Richard Holliday. Can't thank you, the fans, enough for supporting PAPW. I don't just say this because PAPW is my home and where it all started for me, but PAPW is doing some pretty awesome things right now. We have over like a dozen students right now that have been busting their ass training 4 days a week with Mario and Paul. And they are ready to showcase what it means to be Roma trained, Mancini brained. And fans, you have the opportunity to see what we're doing. PAPW we have such a bright future going right now. It's pretty incredible. So you can see us all next Saturday, July 8th. That's when we return to Armada Brewing for Bash at the Brewery Part 2. That's over 190 River Street in New Haven. It was a lot of fun the first time out. And I can guarantee it's going to be just as fun, if not even more fun, the next time. So Saturday, July 8th, make sure you head over to Paradise Alley for Bash at the Brewery at Armada Brewing. I know
that's River Street in New Haven, Connecticut, correct? River Street, New Haven, Connecticut.
That is
Go
correct.
to official_PAPW on Instagram, and you will see those updates.
Absolutely.
Correct.
You'll see those updates. You will see those updates. Fans, come on out. It's a lot of fun. Keep supporting independent wrestling. And once again, on behalf of everyone at PAPW, thank you for supporting Rarefied Air, because that was an unbelievable show. It was just so special to be a part of that show for such a good cause, for the return of Richard Holliday, a man who deserves so much, for everything that's coming his way. He is, now that he is cancer free, the sky's the limit for him, the most marketable man in pro wrestling. So I can't wait to see what's next for him. And I can't wait to see what's coming up next for Paradise Alley. So, of course, keep supporting Coliseum Pro Wrestling, support PAPW, and support independent wrestling.
Support independent
wrestling.
There you go.
And, of course, support PWZ, support the Professor Rick Del Santo. This man, I know it looks like I'm pointing at me, but I'm pointing where you are on my screen, Rick. This man he does so much for all of these promotions. I don't think there's anyone that promotes the upcoming shows like he does. So please keep supporting PWZ. Keep supporting the Professor Rick Del Santo. And Professor, as always, it's always a pleasure to be back on PWZ. And fans, it's always great to see you all. And it's always great to be blessing your feed with good-looking and lady-loving.
Tommy, thank you so much for stepping in tonight. Of course, I know you're going to be back. I have some dates already in the works for Tommy to be back here. Stepping in, always talking about the world of professional wrestling, especially our New England independent area that is so bright right now. It really is. Thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in for Tommy here. We got Hustle and Muscle coming up in just a few minutes, but check this out first.
Hi, this is Bob Smith. You might remember me from my years at Pro Wrestling Illustrated magazine. Well, now I've started a brand new podcast called The Outdated Wrestling Hour. Yes, we're going to take a whimsical look back at the wrestling figures, stars, and trends from years gone by. We're talking 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and a whole lot more. There's going to be laughs, there's going to be fun, there's going to be action, you name it. Please tune in for The Outdated Wrestling Hour wherever you get your podcasts.
Available on all streaming platforms. It's professional wrestling's greatest, largest, privately owned wrestling library. All the classic hits, flips, slams, and pins of yesteryear are on one place. It's Ultimate Classic Wrestling. Check out the Nature Boy Ric Flair, Hulk Hogan, Mr. USA Tony Atlas, Tito Santana, Rick Martel, a who's who of professional wrestling's greatest spotlight stars ever to grace the squared circle, all in one place. Grab the best seat in the house for memories and mayhem on Ultimate Classic Wrestling.
Coming June 18th to Ultimate Classic Wrestling, it's the Wormez Chicago Library, featuring Bob Loose Monsters of the Mat, Hall of Fame Classics, the Chicago Challenge, and more. Relive all the hits, flips, slams, and pins. June 18th, exclusively on Ultimate Classic Wrestling.
Join us if you dare.
If you want to see more classic wrestling from the Savoldi Wrestling Library, head on over to the Ultimate Classic Wrestling Network, available now on all major streaming platforms.
All right, everybody, and welcome to the Pro Wrestle Zone here on WON Sports. I want to welcome to the show the new Coliseum Pro Wrestling Tag Team Champions, Hustle and Muscle. Gentlemen, first I want to say congratulations. Other way, there you go. Congratulations on winning your titles this past Friday night against the Co-Avenue Killers of Jake Lynn and Lorenzo Vendetta. So there you go.
Yeah, congratulations. The pleasure's all yours, I'm sure. Listen, we won fair and square. It was a fair fight. We called them out. We said we were going to win, and that's exactly what we did.
Absolutely. You guys did earlier in the week put out a video saying you were coming for those titles, and you walked away with them this past Friday night.
That's right. You know, when we say we're going to do something, we do it. You know, we've
Absolutely.
been hustling muscle since day one, like I said, like Jay said. We've said this whole time. Hustle and muscle isn't just a gimmick. It's a lifestyle. It's real to us.
Not only that, we didn't have to change name 5 times.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah, what's with that? What's with that?
I don't know. First, they were Battle Academy. They had a fallout. Then they're the Black Sheep. Then they're...
And they're just trying to find their identity. You know, they're little kids. They're little kids in a man's world. Listen, this is where the big boys play. I might not be big size-wise, but I'm big up here. I'm big where it counts.
And I'm big in the belly. But that don't stop me from whipping ass.
Absolutely. Why don't you guys talk about the beginnings of Hustle and Muscle, how you guys got together? Obviously, you guys were with the firm. Is the firm still a thing?
Oh, the firm is always
still a thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. The original firm. Let's just put that out there.
In secret.
Let's
we
just
do a lot of stuff behind the scenes. So, like, when we're laying low, just know that that's when we're at our most dangerous. You don't know when we're coming out next.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course, we're referring to Elijah Six and Sammy Diaz. I just want to make sure that we're, for people listening, that is the original firm, not those guys on TV.
No, those guys on TV, they saw us. They're like, man, these guys are great. Now let's just take it. Yeah, let's just take it to TV and make some money. But I don't even watch the product. Are they any good? What's going on? You tell me.
Well, based on the royalty checks we haven't been getting, I think that's.
I can't tell you if they're any good because I don't watch TV wrestling any longer, really.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, if there was something good on TV, maybe something like this. Maybe.
Oh, maybe like the Coliseum Pro Tag Team Champions. Yeah,
maybe there'll be.
Yeah, maybe that'd be worth watching.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
Anyways, how do we meet? I don't want to. What do you call? What's the word? I'm not good with words.
Oh yeah. Okay. Let me tell you the story. So a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. No, that's not it. No, 7 years ago. No, That's wrong too, isn't it? Yeah. If I remember correctly, you
Get to the point.
Yeah, that's right. You
Me.
were Elijah Six's bodyguard,
I was.
and I
remember that.
I needed a big man. I needed a heavy. I had some unfinished business with a little man called Dickie Moon. You helped me. You helped me get Sammy Diaz on our side. You helped join the firm, become one cohesive unit.
Yeah.
You and I were the linchpins in that.
Not only that, I had some problems with the law, and this man right here is law and order. All right.
Listen.
If he
scratch
was
my back, I scratch yours.
If he was old enough to get OJ off, he would have. But
absolutely,
you were just a child.
Thank God someone got him off.
Let's talk about that. That's Richard E. Stone, Esquire, correct?
Correct.
Now you were
law and order for nothing.
That's correct. Now it's your father. That's the lawyer. Am I correct? Or is that you?
My father's the lawyer.
Are you you're the lawyer? Okay, I'm sorry. Apologies. It's been a while. It's been a long day. So
my father is an old man, and you were referring to him as Mr. Stone.
Mr. Stone. Excuse me. I'm sorry about that. So, tell me about this. Tell me how that whole thing came out. What were you in trouble for, Jay Briggs? That you had to call this lawyer here?
Listen, we have some some strict confidentiality agreements. Some NDAs
I don't mind.
We're not at liberty to talk about that at this time.
Okay.
What I can say is that everything was alleged and nothing is proven.
Okay.
So
yeah, that guy's ear fell off by itself.
Too much.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Next question.
So you guys have been tearing up the tag team scene across the northeastern part of the United States. You guys have been to groups like Bay State and obviously Test of Strength, and here at Coliseum Pro Wrestling. So you've had quite the successful career once you guys started, as Hustle and Muscle. And now this is your first gold, as far as I know.
Yeah, the first of many.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. So you guys so far have had a really good year, I think, and have become one of the better tag teams in the area.
Yeah, I appreciate you. I appreciate you recognizing greatness when you see it. We are the 2022 Test of Strength Tag Team of the Year. We won that by a landslide, and now we're starting to reap some of those benefits. We come in everywhere we go. People know who we are. People see us. They recognize us. They go, "Oh, that's Hustle and Muscle. That's Hustle and Muscle. That's Jay Briggs and Richard E. Stone, Esquire." We got a reputation that precedes us. And now we got gold on our shoulders on top of that.
Yeah. And I just want to say, this isn't some wrestling thing where people were like, the powers that be were like, oh, we should give these guys tag team of the year. This is the people. The people voted for us. We are the people's champs. All right. And now we are certified gold, baby. We're
right.
Fort Knox.
That's right.
What do you guys now? You guys obviously wrestled the last show. You guys beat the young up and coming team of the Vitrano brothers. I think you kind of turned them inside out, if you ask me. They've
let me tell you something about the Vitrano brothers. They're nice guys.
Yeah, maybe too nice for the wrestling business.
Finished last.
Yeah, yep.
And that's what happened.
And that's all. She wrote.
They're talented.
Oh, no doubt.
They're talented.
No doubt.
But talent goes out the window when I punch you in the back of the head.
Listen.
Allegedly.
Listen.
Punch in the back.
All the combat training in the world doesn't prepare you to get hit in the face.
No. But nice guys. I like them. Maybe when they get their reps in, maybe when they're not on a losing streak. What is it? 8-0 now?
It's however many.
No, not 8.
No. It's 0-8.
That means they're winning. It's 0-8.
0-8.
That's right.
Yeah.
Over their career, really.
Yeah. Once they're getting their reps in, maybe they start winning. Bertrand brothers, maybe perhaps you could touch this. Until then, how about you touch some mat or something? I don't know.
I'll tell you what. For $10, I'll let him touch it, and I'll give him an autographed 8x10.
10.
Wait, you got 8x10s?
I'm cutting them a deal.
Oh,
because they're nice guys.
No, yeah, we got 8x10s. You send me $50, and you will get one 8x10.
The hustle over here, guys. The hustle.
Damn, I need one for my wall. So next time I see you guys.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Obviously, with the match with the Avenue Killers or Linen Vendetta, Jake injured his knee in the match going up against the ring post, and Lorenzo decided. I have no idea, man.
You were there. Why did that happen?
I know. I can tell you why that happened.
He got too close to the sun. Is what happened.
Well, yeah.
Take you out, okay?
I know.
I could end you.
I could have been it. What if he kneed me?
He ended himself.
He could have kneed me in the head.
Yeah.
My head would have gone to the post.
You know what? I don't even want to think about it. I don't even want to think about what he would have done to you. That man is a savage. And honestly, he got what he deserved.
The people want to. We go out there and they're like, boo, boo. Do I ever try to end a man's career? No.
I've never seen you.
Never. Never. I've never done a bad thing in my life.
You're a civilized man.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
I went to college.
Allegedly, you've done bad things. But
Yeah.
That's alleged.
We're going to get to that ending the career question. Now hold that thought. So Lorenzo decided to take you both on by himself.
He sure did. That was foolish. Brave.
Very foolish, I
But
think.
foolish.
Yes. And you guys took advantage of that situation, I would say. I mean, what
listen,
what good tag team wouldn't? That's my thought.
Yeah, I mean, I have to agree. The bell rang. I talked to him. I said, "Hey, man, are you good to compete?" And I mean, I gave him a couple love taps, try to wake him up. And then, he said, "Yeah, I'm good. Let's keep going." I don't know if he knew what happened to his partner or what, but we kept the match going. And all of a sudden, Jake comes out of nowhere, and then Lorenzo's got life out of nowhere. These guys obviously feed off each other. They got some kind of energy going on. Now, listen, what they do is good, but what we do is great. And when you try to take out my boy, and then you try to play the numbers game with people, listen, a great man once said one time, the numbers don't lie, and they spell disaster for you. And I'm here to say that man was right.
Coming June 18th to Ultimate Classic Wrestling, it's the Wormez Chicago Library, featuring Bob Loose Monsters of the Mat, Hall of Fame Classics, the Chicago Challenge, and more. Relive all the hits, flips, slams, and pins. June 18th, exclusively on Ultimate Classic Wrestling.
Join us. If you dare.
If you want to see more classic wrestling from the Savoldi Wrestling Library, head on over to the Ultimate Classic Wrestling Network, available now on all major streaming platforms.
Wrestling fans, promoters, wrestlers, and anyone who enjoys pro wrestling now have something new to be excited about. The Wrestling Fans International Association, the WFIA, is back. WFIA is an association that exists to promote, grow, and support professional wrestling throughout the world. Membership is free. Your membership includes a free digital bi-monthly publication of the Wrestling Fan News newsletter, association updates, voting privileges, and much more. Please go to thewfia.org, that's THEWFIA.org, and become a member today.
Do you think it was foolish of Lorenzo for Jake to come out injured, limping, and with that injured knee? Because obviously, in my personal opinion, I was actually calling the action that evening. It did not work to his advantage. If anything, it made it worse.
Absolutely. I mean, if listen, I don't want to sow distrust between those two. They seem like good buddies. But if I was Lorenzo, I mean, I'd be pretty upset with Jake. Kind of cost him the title, right? I mean, he was trying to hold his own, do his thing, and Jake just comes out there, being greedy, trying to win the match for his team when he's hurt. I mean, you got to know when to hold him and know when to fold him. And
Listen,
I mean, he
I
risked
think
too much.
I think what they suffer from is they're not as in tune as we are. I would never say, "Hey, Richie, how about you try to knee someone against a pole?"
It's true.
You're gonna hurt yourself, stupid. We would never do that.
Do that.
Ugh. We got IQ of collectively IQ 180 here. My man is 175. I'm the rest. All right.
That's right.
What's in store for you guys at Coliseum coming up? I know there's another show being planned. Do you guys have any idea as to what's going on? I know it's a little ways away.
Listen, the brass at Coliseum Pro doesn't tell us what's going on. All they tell us is who we got next. We don't know that yet, but we'll take on anybody.
Okay.
We're open to fighting anybody, anytime. So they just name it, and we're there.
Listen, there's a list. There's a mental list. All right, guys, we're the measuring stick now.
That's
okay.
Right.
Who got the Haven? The Haven, come get it. Miracle Generation, come get it. Mark Alexander and Nolan Pierce, come get it. Hispanic Mechanics, come get it. Brick City Boys, come get it, etc., 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 etc.
You name some of the top teams out of the area. You're going to be able to
name some of the
handle those guys?
Top team. We want to go against other top teams.
Not denying that. I'm not denying that. I think you guys are a very good team. Actually, I'm going to tell you honestly. I bought a shirt at the last show. I think you guys are one of my favorite teams in the northeastern part of the United States. And it's
this guy is smart, okay?
You know that.
We've been on the King K show or whatever he wants to call it. That guy, man, I cannot stand that guy. I hate him.
Do you know Don Kincaid?
Of course, I know Donkey. He's a very good. He's a very good friend of the show. Yeah.
That guy is a menace. Are you okay? He makes physically ill.
Does he need some Pepto?
My stomach turned.
I understand.
Oh my God! There's only one Kincaid I like, and that's his father. And he should give that man a whooping. I don't care that Kincaid is 57 years old.
Never too old to get a whooping from your dad.
No.
That's true. I believe
that.
Maybe set him straight.
Oh.
So what happened at his show? You give you guys a hard time?
Oh, he's always
about your tactics. Yeah, I know that.
He's calling me a Smurf. I don't even wear the powder blue anymore. You know, it's over.
Yeah.
Get a grip.
You got any nicknames for you? Like what are you,
what do you call me, Marco Stunt?
You're way bigger than Marco
Listen,
Stunt.
I am at least 1 inch taller than Marco Stunt.
Yeah,
confirmed.
Man. Yeah,
that's fact.
Yeah,
irrefutable.
Yeah, you're taller than Rey Mysterio.
Absolutely. I got a picture of me with Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio comes up to like here.
Come on.
That's real life.
Yeah.
Evidence.
Let's talk about your incidences at Bay State, and you kind of had an incident with one of the refs over there in
You
Q.
want to hear something funny about that?
Absolutely.
I'm glad he calls it a ref. Ref.
Well,
that's a good point, as he should be. You know, that same ref counted 1, 2, 3 for us. I'll bet that felt really good for him, huh? Anyway, yeah, we got a little something going on with the referee. He tried to slow count Jay. He tried to screw me in a match, and we had enough. So you know what? We're done. We're going to put him back in the referee stripes where he belongs. He thinks he can come out. Oh, cue the pit. Oh, okay, cool. You got a little moniker. That doesn't mean you got training. That doesn't mean you got reps. That doesn't mean you got endurance. That doesn't mean you got ring cardio. It just means you got a name and some people who cheer you, because guess what? They don't know any better.
Listen, when we first came out here, we lost for like 8 months straight. Yeah. We were put to the ringer. They gave us everyone. We were looking up at the lights. But now the lights are looking down on us.
That's right. Okay? They're shining.
So
absolutely.
If he thinks he can just step into the ring with certified gold, a team that's been to trials and tribulations, please think again. It's not going to happen. It's not going to end well for you.
What about him choosing Bull Dread as his partner?
He can choose whoever he wants. It doesn't matter. That's still a 2-on-1 fight. Because Q's not a fighter. He's a referee.
Yeah.
He's meant to call the action, not be part of the action.
Listen,
the sooner he realizes that, the better off he is.
Respect to Bull Dread, but this is a young man's game. And it's time for old bones to go off the pasture and leave the wrestling for the real men, the men that are now doing it.
That's right.
He's the past, we are the now.
See, this gold means we're the present.
You guys want to talk about how you guys got interested in the professional wrestling world and coming in as a tag team, and or just as wrestlers in general?
Well, so you know, in the world of law and order and the legal profession that I'm in, it's you know, the courtroom is kind of your squared circle, right?
Right.
I've been thirsty for competition my entire life. When I played baseball, I was hitting home runs left and right. When I was in football, I was a kicker, and I could kick 50-yard field goals, right? I get into the courtroom, and I'm getting convictions all over the place. And when I need to, I'm getting acquittals, because that's what I do. I win. So when I decided to step foot in professional wrestling, I said, hey, there's a lot of money in professional wrestling. I'm going to get me some of that. And that's what I do.
Yeah. And for me, I was a fighter. And for reasons we can't talk about, I'm no longer able to fight. But,
yeah, that's true.
You know, pro wrestling gave me another opportunity. Here I am kicking ass left and right, from one side of Connecticut to the other.
That's right.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's definitely an interesting world, is it not? You have to be, I don't know, man. There's got to be a special kind of person to take part in the professional wrestling world.
Are you calling us special?
Not like special, not like that kind of special. Like, yeah, like, you know, not that kind of special.
takes a certain kind of person to want to put themselves through the ringer the way that pro wrestlers do. Absolutely. But
Yes.
listen, there's one thing that Jay Briggs and Richard E. Stone Esquire never shy away from, and that's a challenge, physical or otherwise. So, I mean, I took my first step in the ring, bruised myself on the ropes, took the bumps, got the headaches. I loved it. I was snake bit from the start.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Well, what year was that about? Did you trained to test of strength? Am I correct?
Yep, about 5 years ago.
Okay. Oh, wow, that long ago. Wow.
Yep.
Okay. What about you, Jay?
What's the question? What's the question? I'm thinking of my Jamaican beef patty that I got off screen here.
Oh, I just bought a case of
Yeah,
those
you
today,
know what?
by the way. Yeah. There you go. You guys got any beer? Any beer? All right. So anyways, yeah, there's what was the question? That's the other part. You confused me with the beef patties. Oh yeah, that's right.
About four. I injured my leg. I was out for a year and a half. Now I've been back for a year and a half. So on and off 4 years.
You guys have any other tag titles in your eyes right now?
Oh man,
view?
I would love to be that picture of Ultimo Dragon, where he's got titles up and out his arms. That's our goal. I mean, this was the first, but it's certainly not the last. What would you say? PAPW?
PAPW, Test of Strength, NEW, Bayside, anywhere, everywhere.
Yeah, Wrestling Open?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Have you guys been up there yet?
We have not.
Wrestling Open.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I should have been more specific.
We're waiting. We're waiting for the phone call. Our phone is waiting. You see this? Look.
Yeah.
Wrestling Open. It could be you.
It's not
Whoever
ringing.
you want it to be. It could be you. It's right here.
You guys both. Now I'm going by social media posts. You guys both have histories in music, correct?
That's correct.
Is that correct? Let's talk about that a little. I think Jay, me and you have a somewhat similar taste from back in the day. You were a vocalist in the band. Am I correct?
I was a vocalist in the band.
Let's talk about this.
What do you want to say? What do you want to talk about?
I don't know. Tell me about it. Talk about the man. Tell me.
I was a singer. I used to scream my frustration, and now I take it out on unsuspecting tag team partners. Sang for
tag team partners
years of my life, and this guy's a drummer. That's right.
What kind of band were you in, Jay?
I was in a hardcore band.
What hardcore band were you in? I can see. I come from the 1990s hardcore scene myself, so I kind of lost interest in the earlier 2000s. Well, life happened, marriage, and all that other shit.
Okay,
so.
We were Hate Breed Jr.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Wow.
Sorry.
Wow. How did see? This is Kincaid all over again. We thought you were cool, Rick. We thought you were cool. What is that? Are you drinking freaking? What is that? What, a seltzer? Real men drink tequila.
Available on all streaming platforms. It's professional wrestling's greatest, largest, privately owned wrestling library. All the classic hits, flips, slams, and pins of yesteryear are on one place. It's Ultimate Classic Wrestling. Check out the Nature Boy Ric Flair, Hulk Hogan, Mr. USA Tony Atlas, Tito Santana, Rick Martel, a who's who of professional wrestling's greatest spotlight stars ever to grace the squared circle, all in one place. Grab the best seat in the house for memories and mayhem on Ultimate Classic Wrestling.
talk about what else you guys want to talk about. Throw something out here, and then we'll.
Well, you said you brought up my drumming, and it's interesting.
Yeah, let's talk about your drumming. What kind of music? I mean, I've seen your videos on Instagram.
So I get a little everything. You know, I played punk bands before. I played hip hop bands. I played with a jazz singer.
Yeah.
The thing about drumming is that it's violent. It can be very violent, but it can also be an art. And that's kind of like what I do in the wrestling ring. You know, sometimes I toy with my opponent, give him a little, and then sometimes I go boots and cats, boots and cats, boots and cats, boots and cats.
You gotta follow along, Jay.
You know?
What are you saying? You gotta follow along.
That's how you know it's drumming, but it's also wrestling.
He's going up the beats.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Is that what you're thinking when you're beating people up?
Kind of, yeah. Sometimes I get a little salsa, sometimes I get some smooth jazz, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't do that at all.
Well, that's why I'm 175 out of 180.
Oh, there you go. So, Jay, what band were you in? What was the name of
That's hard.
What was the what was the name of the band you were in, Jay?
Stomped on Sight.
Oh, okay. What about you, Richard?
You kind of get what we.
That's definitely past my time. I think.
I was in a band called Polar Planet. I was in a band called Mission Transmission. I sing with this. I play with a jazz singer named Isan, and I play in a hip hop band called Clockwise. Nice.
It's something that you guys are still interested in. I'm sorry, I changed the subject from professional wrestling to music. I'm also a big music guy as well.
Still active in the drumming in the music scene today.
Yeah, I went to see him once. He had his shirt off. He was playing drums, and all the ladies were like, "Woo!"
Oh wow! Was that allowed?
Like I said, success wherever I go. It follows.
There you go. There's a lot of crossover between the music industry and professional wrestling. A lot. So it's kind of So it's pretty intense at times, obviously. So there's a lot of musicians that I've seen become wrestlers or vice versa.
Yeah, there's quite the crossover. In fact, I believe one of the Blitzkrieg. Yeah, there's another place that we haven't been yet.
Well, if you saw, you guys haven't been there, but if you saw one of their flyers, they took the artwork from one of the Bad Brains albums.
Yep, I've seen that.
And then they took one from an Anthrax album. Yep. And I know they did another
over there.
Yeah, they did like another hardcore punk related album kind of twist. They did that. I think there was another one too, and I can't even remember though. But I don't know. I'd have to think about it and go back and look.
Did you play anything?
Did I play anything? I used to play bass.
Okay.
Yeah, we got like a band here?
Yeah.
Oh, let's do it. All right.
All right. Let me hear some riffs.
I don't have it anymore. I haven't played in years. I also worked in a record store for 30 years.
No, that's what Muffin doesn't do. We don't make excuses.
Yeah.
I also worked in a record store for 30 years.
Watch this. This is how devoted we are to our craft.
What we got?
Should I be scared? Should I be scared?
Look at. Okay.
Look at.
All right.
Miniature drum set ready to go.
There you go.
All right, where's your bass?
Come on.
Where's your bass?
It's probably at a pawn shop or a used record store. Or a used music. It's been probably 20 years since I've touched anything. But so you guys brought up Don Kincaid. Obviously, he's quite the character.
No.
Hold on.
Rick, we could have had something beautiful, but no, you want to pawn off your bass.
It's okay, Jay.
You are so angry. No, these guys want to talk about music, and now it's like, let's change the subject to Don Kincaid.
I'm gonna ask you.
Guts.
I know. Well, I know that.
What happened in Thailand? Okay.
I'm sorry.
You gotta calm down.
Yeah, you gotta calm down, dude. You don't want to have a heart attack on air.
Bail you out.
All right.
So let me ask you this. You brought up Don Kincaid. Obviously, he's at a lot of shows around the northeastern part of the United States. He films a lot. He puts it on his channel. Obviously, you guys I guess could say you taunt him a little bit, or maybe it's vice versa.
Wait, before you answer that,
yes, sir.
Right
well, I didn't even finish my sentence, but
Go ahead.
Obviously he does a lot of interviews and podcasts, YouTube and whatnot. So, how did that beef come about, and how did you guys, what's so menacing about Don Kincaid? I want to know.
He has an answer for that, but I want to get my stuff in first.
Please.
Go get your stuff.
I don't want to start any conspiracy theories. But he apparently works at a pizza shop, right?
Yes.
All right. But he's everywhere. He's everywhere.
Is that what the Pizza Gate? Is that what Pizza Gate
I don't know. I don't know what that is. But listen, He's everywhere, right?
Yes.
Does he get in everywhere? All right, it's expensive. This is expensive. We throw so much money traveling, wrestling, and he's just there everywhere. I think he's a millionaire.
He's got to be.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very possible, right?
We'll figure it out.
We gotta get to the bottom of this. How is he everywhere? You know?
Maybe
maybe he works in the morning and then he travels at night.
No.
And then Saturdays and Sundays. No.
No way. I think he's CIA.
Wow.
Listen,
So what's your
there's
story?
No doubt that Don Kincaid is the undisputed independent wrestling content world champion. Like that's
I fully agree. I think that he over the last how long has he been doing this? 6-7 years, maybe a little, give or take a few. Right?
He's been doing it longer than me, and to be honest, that's all well and good. But why does he have to be so annoying all the time? And he's not annoying to everybody.
He's peppy. He's peppy.
Listen. You know what it is? You said the question was, where did the beef start? We came to firm, all right? Sure,
yes.
We were bad guys, all right? But behind every bad guy, there's a reason why we became bad guys for a reason. And we don't think we're bad guys.
Listen, I'm just doing what I had to do to win.
I don't think you guys are. I don't think.
Until he calls me a Smurf.
I don't. Well, see, I don't think you necessarily.
Let me finish.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Boo! What is he, a cow? Moo? What is that about? Anyways, it's been booing us. It's been talking smack about us. Been besmirching the great name of Richard E. Stone. You can say whatever you want about me because you can't beat me up. So you can say whatever you want. But when you talk down on this innocent, beautiful man, it bothers me. All right? And I don't know I don't know what's his problem. You should get him on the line. Ask him what's the beef with us.
You want me to try to get him on the line?
He never did say that. He just started calling me a Smurf out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Laughing at me.
You're not even blue.
No.
I think it was that blue I think it was that blue Adidas tracksuit, right? No? That blue Adidas.
Oh, you mean my high-end tracksuit that Don Kincaid could never afford? So he was jealous is what it was. He's jealous that he's not me. He can't afford a nice tracksuit, so he's got to try to tear me down. You know, I kind of feel bad for him now that I think about it. That makes me feel bad for him. Next time I see Don Kincaid, I'll just apologize that he's just slinging pizza in the middle of nowhere.
But is he though? Is he? Because he has money.
I mean, he's getting into all those shows.
Yeah, how is he doing it? How is he doing it?
Kincaid, I just reach out to Don Kincaid.
Yeah, we're gonna get to the bottom of it.
Yeah,
for sure.
I just reached out to Don Kincaid. I'm just going to tell you that I'm going to try to get him in on this if he's not busy.
Please, we need answers. We need answers. We don't know. We're trying to answer your questions. You're over here like.
I know.
Why does Don Kincaid have a problem with you?
I'm choking on my beef patty.
Don't choke on the beef patty. So let me ask you about. You guys are eating beef patties, right? Do you guys get the? Oh my God!
He takes something as delicious as a beef patty and spoils it for my man. Tries to kill him with it.
It's unbelievable. Do you guys get the ones with the cheese or the spicy ones or just the meat?
Spicy.
Spicy. All right, that's respectable. I always buy the ones with the cheese. So
yeah, we hate Don Kincaid. I hope just nuisance things. I would never wish death upon anyone, but I hope just really nuisance things happen to him. I hope that every remote control he picks up just doesn't have batteries. I hope that his boiler breaks down and he never has freaking hot water. I hope that every freaking can of freaking beer that he opens is shaken. I hope that he steps on a crack and breaks his own back. I don't like.
Wow. You guys.
Minor
thing.
He's just a content creator and a fan.
He is not just a content creator. When you cross the line and you start making fun of the wrestlers, you are no longer just a content creator. You're inserting yourself in places where you don't belong. And if Q is any indication of inserting yourself where you don't belong, I mean, Don Kincaid's next, right? He should take this out of Q's book that Q never took and quit while he's ahead.
You think that you guys get Don in the ring? You guys got Q in the ring. Well, on 2 occasions.
Nothing more.
Really?
Than to take Don Kincaid, an untrained, unathletic imbecile, and put him in the ring. I would have a field day.
Wow.
It would be the easiest wrestling match of my life.
Unlike my
think
partner
so?
here, I wouldn't want Don Kincaid in the ring because I punch him once, dust. That's not good for anyone. You can't get human dust off the mat.
CJ, this is where the jazz kicks in. You know, you kind of give them the. You
don't give them the.
No. We don't go hardcore. We go nice and light, right? You know, keep splashing on the cymbals a little bit. Take it for a walk.
Okay.
Show them a thing or two.
Well, I just heard from Don Kincaid. He says he's busy.
Busy?
Big time Kincaid?
Busy?
Huh? Well, I guess that pizza's not going to sling itself, huh?
Oh,
my
busy.
God.
Busy. Busy with what?
Busy shivering.
Busy
maybe he's on.
racing his Pokemon collection.
Busy getting his will ready.
Oh.
Ah!
Maybe he's on a date. No.
God, Kincaid. That's a good one. Have you ever thought about stand-up comedy? Because that is.
I'm not very. I have no charisma. I'm not very funny. So you know.
I don't know. You just dropped that one out of nowhere. There might be a future for you. Who knows? Who knows?
Read about the Northern Wrestling Federation in the book presented by Wrestleville.com, The Pro Wrestling Vault, Volume 2. Hear the story of Roger Ruffin, the man who trained Carl Anderson, the Monster Abyss, Jordan Clearwater, Chris Harris, and Jillian Hall.
Plus 45 other short stories including Jazz, Bobby Eaton, Kamala, Thunder Rosa, Mario Mancini, Scott Casey, PJ Black, Kerry Morton, Sal Renaro, Jeremiah Plunkett, Colby Carino, Bam Bam Malone, and many others.
Get your book today at Wrestleville.com. Wrestleville. It's where wrestling lives.
Hi, this is Bob Smith. You might remember me from my years at Pro Wrestling Illustrated magazine. Well, now I've started a brand new podcast called The Outdated Wrestling Hour. Yes, we're going to take a whimsical look back at the wrestling figures, stars, and trends from years gone by. We're talking 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and a whole lot more. There's going to be laughs. There's going to be fun. There's going to be action. You name it. Please tune in for The Outdated Wrestling Hour wherever you get your podcasts.
It'll be easier to talk about people we do like.
That's
true. Who do you like? Who do you like?
so
Besides,
you,
oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
Pal.
Oh, wow. Jeez.
Yeah, get a base.
I'll go get a base.
For us.
Tomorrow, I'll go to the store.
Like the ace.
Sammy Diaz, great guy.
Oh, yeah. Sammy, Elijah Six, two fine gentlemen.
Yeah.
House of Pain.
Oh, love the House of Pain.
I love the House of Pain.
Yeah,
good guys. Yeah. I'm sorry. Repeat that.
It's okay. We still love them. Yeah. Got nothing but love.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good guys there. Yeah.
Fly Nye. Love Fly Nye.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great guy.
And he did Steve in, man.
Yeah, man.
He tied him up. I mean, you were there. He tied him up and hit him with a chair.
I'll be honest. I almost gave him my card after the show.
Yeah,
You might need some.
You know what? You know who we like too? Talkin Tommy, man. That guy's pretty solid.
Wait, hold up, you guys. What do you say that got you guys? You like that guy, Talkin Tommy? I mean, I'm a huge fan. He's been part of the show many times.
That little live segment after the event, he said some nice words about hustle and muscle.
Yeah, he's down with hustle.
It feels like someone we could have a retainer. I mean, someone we could befriend.
That's right. And our boy Josh, we love Josh.
Yeah.
He's the only one. Everybody boos us, and Josh just sits there since day one.
Yeah.
There you go. He's a good kid.
Muscle.
But if you have ever booed me, I hate you. I hope that all your Cheeto bags are pre-opened and stale.
I hope they're 90% air.
Yeah.
That's every bag of chips. Let's just be honest with.
That's fair. Yeah. So then my wish will come true. Excellent.
There you go.
I win again.
There you go. There you go. Let's see what else. Let's see. Where else should we go with this here? I'm all over the place today.
You tell me.
I didn't come with notes because you guys are good at.
Benefit from some Adderall. I know you never
what?
Heard of it because you probably forget every time, but some Adderall would do you well.
It's fucked up, man. But anyways,
I like this guy. I like this guy.
He's a funny guy. Yeah, I like him.
Anyways.
He's a base, but I like him.
I'm a base. There you go. So we had a really good show at Coliseum on this past Friday night. What'd you guys think of the show? I thought the show was it was on fire from beginning to end, really.
I mean, I thought Chris Battle got robbed, but other than that,
Really?
I mean,
You don't think that that was his own doing? Maybe.
What did he do wrong?
Actually, nobody did anything wrong.
he went in there trying to win.
Two ref took bumps, and that's about it. Nobody did anything wrong. I don't think, really.
There you go.
They took advantage of it.
Wrong place, wrong time.
Yeah.
Why
Yeah.
are referees trying
These
to
referees are always in the way, right?
Do your job, ref. Do your job. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. So Coliseum Wrestling has been on fire, I think, as of late. They've been around exactly a year, I think, as of this past. Yeah, exactly a year. And obviously, you guys beat the Co-Avenue Killers. We talked about them earlier in the show.
Yep.
They won that at the Course of Honor last year. So they held those tag team titles for exactly a year. So for a new promotion, I mean, they've come up pretty well in the state of Connecticut. Connecticut, what do you guys think about?
They gave the opportunity to the guys best suitable for the job.
Listen,
and look at us. Look at this. Look at you see this? Where's the camera? Right here. See, I got it
right there. Yeah.
Coliseum Pro is on the come up. All right. And what they're doing is they're being smart. They're getting top talent, and that's why they got Hustle and Muscle. That's why they got the Haven. That's why they got the Co-Avenue Killers. That's why they got the Vetrano brothers. They got up-and-coming talent that's on the come up with them. And I can respect that. And I can respect all the talent that's putting in the hard work behind the scenes to make sure that we go from, selling out one night to selling out multiple nights, having a packed crowd. I mean, when I looked out, and yeah, those fans booed me. I don't care because I came home with the gold. When I looked out, there wasn't an empty seat.
Yeah. You know who I don't like? Those little kids, man. They get so hurtful.
Yeah, let's look at that one kid wouldn't give you his Transformers.
Yeah, he had a Transformers toy. I wanted it.
Wow.
The first lesson of being a kid is learning how to share.
Yeah.
I teach my daughter how to share all the time. These kids, man.
Yeah.
These kids have no respect.
But yeah.
Other than those kids, it's great.
Wow, that's incredible. It's you
got
got to
this time,
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Little lack of hustle and muscle action figures, but other than that, I got no complaints.
Well, it's because they sold out.
Yeah, you guys should definitely customize some figures. I'll sell them. We'll sell them at my table next time.
See?
Oh,
see?
Rick, come on, Rick.
Yeah.
Good guy, Rick.
Rick.
Get a base, Rick.
Rick.
All right, we'll get a base. We'll get a base. We got this.
Hustle, muscle,
and tussle.
And tussle. Yeah, why not? This guy likes tussle. Listen, we could play for the masses before the show.
Oh my God!
You want to hear?
There you go.
You ready?
I'm ready. I could barely walk out in front of a crowd of people.
Wow. Right there. Beautiful.
Yeah.
The golden
I could break glass with that one.
You could. Thank God you didn't.
Yeah. We're home. Yeah, I don't want.
It's true. Yeah, I got a lot of nice crystals.
Yeah.
Well, thank
you. There you go. So, you guys mentioned, obviously we talked Don Kincaid, the pizza shop, the tag team titles. Is there any? Did I ask you about the tag team scene? Or no? I'm sorry. My next question was, what about the scene in Connecticut? Connecticut, I think, is on fire for the last year.
Yeah.
The scene of Connecticut.
I feel like the scene is great. I think Connecticut gives a crap about tag team wrestling. There's actual tag teams. Nothing that I hate more than just two random guys, no name, never worked together. They became a tag team. And now you're gonna say, well, that's how tag teams are made. All right. Well, we don't want to face those guys. Get a name and then come back.
That's right. Earn your spot.
Yeah.
Do what the American generation did. Do what the Haven have done. Do what the Co-Avenue Killers did for about a year until we came along.
Yeah. Get a name. Come back, and then we'll think about it.
That's right.
But I don't even want to know no tag team. Some random guy. Get some matching gear for the love of God.
Oh my God.
Okay, I'm gonna throw out my opinion on that. I think all tag teams should have matching or similar gear.
Yes.
At least the same color scheme.
This is what we've been doing.
Yeah.
You see us. Sometimes I forget which one's which. Who's the muscle? Who's the hustle? We don't know.
You guys ever try switching gear? Wearing each other's gear? No, maybe not.
Rick.
I'm just asking.
Cracking under you, Rick.
I'm just asking. Just asking an honest question.
Now, Rick.
We're
respectful.
We're gonna take the 5th on this one.
Yeah.
Okay.
The 5th.
Okay.
The 5th of Jack.
That's right.
Okay. 5th. See, I'm with that. I'm with you on that one. I like that. So, cheers again. Cheers again.
Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers.
So, we talked a little bit about the tag teams in Connecticut. Like you said, you just named off a bunch of them. There's a great scene in Connecticut, but the scene of professional wrestling in general in Connecticut, the last year, 2 years, there's not a weekend that goes by. I think it's ever since maybe the pandemic has lifted somewhat that there's not a weekend that goes by that there's not a show somewhere in the state of Connecticut. When's that?
Saturday.
This Saturday, Rick.
It's unfortunate, but I'll be up in Massachusetts. I'll be doing some work up there. Yeah.
Work. You should actually call Don Kincaid and ask him how he's able to be at every show at once, because you really need to be in Bristol.
Listen. I'm starting to think he's like a shapeshifter, like a time traveler.
Maybe he's one of those Men in Black aliens that can like take form.
I've never seen. You guys are probably gonna laugh at me. I've never seen Men in Black, so I have no idea what you're referring to.
What?
Yeah. So that was a phase when those movies came out. I was watching kind of like artsy films and shit. You know.
Will Smith.
I thought I was pretty.
What's not artsy about that?
It was anything with Will Smith.
I feel like Rick watches those movies that just have the annoying violence in the background.
Kind of, yeah. That's it. Yeah.
They don't say words. They just and then a black screen comes over the thing and it's like gas.
Maybe a lot of Wes Anderson stuff.
Yeah, I don't know.
You don't like Wes Anderson? You don't like Wes Anderson? Like
I like Wes Anderson. I'm just saying that's probably what you watched instead of a cinematic masterpiece known as Men in Black.
Have you ever seen the cinematic masterpiece, Napoleon Dynamite?
Oh, I love that movie. That's a great movie.
You see Napoleon Dynamite, but not Men in Black. Wow. This guy. Oh.
They're two totally different movies. But as far as Wes Anderson, like, I don't know. You guys brought up you brought up Wes Anderson. It's the guy's. I pretty much like every movie he's done. Almost. I'm not gonna say everything, but.
I don't know who Wes Anderson is. It's not on my
he's that horror movie guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wait, the what movie? What movie?
He does all the horror movies. Wes Anderson.
Okay. I think we're talking about two different. Wes Anderson. That's Wes Craven. Yes, that's Wes Craven, and he's dead, by the way. Wes Anderson did Rushmore and the Royal Tenenbaums, and there's another one I can't remember. Bottle Rocket. You know, all those movies. Great movies, man.
Listen, they're great movies.
Yeah,
but they're not Men in Black.
Oddball sense of humor.
So this Saturday.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Let's go to this Saturday at Tetsu. Yeah, let's go. I'm gonna be working. I'm working a show in Massachusetts this coming Saturday. So.
What are you doing? What
are you?
Are you playing bass in Massachusetts?
No, I'm working. I'm actually doing work for New Age Wrestling this coming Saturday.
New Age Wrestling. We're ready.
Yes.
Here's the phone, baby. We're one
go.
call away. All right. I see first class tag champions. All right. But we are also tag champions, so we could go. When you're ready, we're ready, first class. We've been watching you. You're on our radar. But also.
Oh yeah, Tetsu. Let's get to the Tetsu. I forgot. I do have. I have the.
Oh,
repeat.
He's cutting off.
No.
He's cutting off. Donkey Kid has infiltrated your system. Run, Rick. Run.
And we're having some sort of a glitch. I don't know if it's my end or not. I'm sure it's my end.
It's got to be Kincaid.
Let me see. I do have the flyer here somewhere for Tetsu. So
listen, I'm gonna tell you about the match that everyone wants to see.
Do that so I don't have to. So I don't.
Right?
Yeah.
Hustle and Muscle against Security Inc. Do you know who Security Inc. is?
Just a man and his dog.
It's unfortunate, but yes, I do know who they are.
Yeah. Don't tell me. Yeah. Please, I can't. Tell me.
I've seen them a couple times. I think I saw them wrestle Paradise Alley once, maybe twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was all you needed to see, right?
That's all I needed to see. Yeah.
It's a guy who works security at the mall. Thinks he's a cop.
Oh, Paul Blart.
Yeah. Skinny Paul Blart over here. Then he found a mental patient who thinks he's a dog.
Oh,
it's messed up, man.
Yeah. We got something for you guys. It's not gonna be pretty. Anyways, but I'm kind of afraid. I hope he listen. If they do anything, I definitely don't want to get bit.
Yeah, you guys gotta take these guys out. You're still eating that beef patty?
Jesus. This is third one.
Third one. Wow.
Why are you hating?
I'm not hating. I'm not hating.
You don't. Where's your beef patty?
You know how you
I just got stuff. I just grilled a bunch of burgers and chicken. That's all I had today. Yeah.
What do you think you had for breakfast? Burgers and chicken. Protein. What do you have for lunch? Burgers and chicken. What do you have for dinner? He's breaking from it a little bit, having 5 beef patties. He's on number 3.
That's all right. That's all right. That's quite all right. You know, beef patties are good. They got a little.
It's a cool 5,000 calorie day.
Yeah, why not?
That's what it takes to get a body like this.
Yeah. But yeah, so
I
that's
believe
what's going on at Tetsu. Our boy Stammy's gonna be there.
That's right.
Okay, he is.
Our boy Elijah Six gonna be there. It's gonna be a fun anniversary, baby.
That's right. Hey, you know who else is gonna be there?
Who's gonna be there?
Maybe we can finally figure out who's behind that mask.
Oh, Ichiban.
He's evaded us for quite some
Yeah.
time.
What do you guys think of Ichiban as a whole? Let's talk about Ichiban.
Well, he's number 1.
He's number
Just
1.
ask him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. What do you think about him? He's was it next month making his MLW debut? What do you guys think of that?
I think for someone who's a coward and won't reveal himself to the firm,
Wow.
sky's the limit for a guy like Ichiban.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm happy for Ichiban, but I won't be happy till he gets unmasked and we know who's under there.
A lot of talent.
I think it might be.
A lot of talent.
Listen, you know, I think Ichiban might be.
Who do you think that is? Tell me.
The Tano card.
Oh God.
I mean, that's a
I haven't seen the Tano card in like a year. It could be Ichiban.
It's true. I've never seen them in a room together.
Yeah.
You might have a point.
It might
You
be
have-
Bobby Buffett.
It might be Bobby Ocean.
Oh, I never thought.
Nah.
Who do you
Nah.
think it is? It
I
might
mean-
be Don Kincaid.
I thought you were pretty spot on with maybe Bobby Buffet. Body type might be,
Yeah,
very similar.
body type's pretty similar.
Yeah. So.
Moveset is roughly the same.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. Well, let's see. What else? Where else do you guys want to go? What else do you guys have coming up? We're gonna wrap it up in a few minutes.
All right, ready?
Yeah, go for it. Tell me everything.
Yeah,
Anything.
Tetsu
Yep.
Pro.
We got RWA.
Where's that? Rhode Island? Is that Rhode Island Wrestling? Okay,
Renegade
that's right.
Wrestling Alliance.
Yeah, we're debuting. We're
Yep.
fighting
Okay.
our tag team champs, not for the belt, but they rolled out the red carpet.
That's right. They
Okay,
said-
congratulations
they
on
both
that.
want the best, and they gave us the best.
Yeah,
There you go.
that's it.
That's
Now
it.
we're waiting on phone calls. There's was the New England Gladiators. What is it?
Ring Warriors. New
Ring
England?
Gladiators. Yeah.
Ring Glad. That's out of. Is that also out of Rhode Island or am I? No.
It's a massive Rhode Island.
Massachusetts. They work with the New World Extreme. Is that correct?
Maybe.
They're kind of maybe like the streaming network or some bullshit. Something.
Yeah, we're trying to expand. We're trying to go to Lucky Pro. We're trying
Lucky
to
Pro.
go-
Okay.
Yeah, Focus Pro. We're trying to go
all the pros.
All the pros.
All the pros.
Not
All the
pros,
pros.
not pros.
We'll go over all
You
the
guys are
pros.
pros. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fight
Wrestling
life.
Open,
Yeah.
Did you guys go to the show when they hit Connecticut? Fight Life?
We were there.
Yeah. Yeah. I saw your guy Sammy Diaz was there. I watched on my television because I ended up having to work that night, but I watched on television. I thought it was a really good show.
Yeah,
It's
and
fun.
who's he wrestling? Dustin Waller?
Dustin, yeah.
I believe so. Yeah.
Big
Yeah.
Match
Wait,
Dust?
let's talk about the Miracle Generation, Kylan King and Dustin Waller. You guys have faced them before, right? Correct? In matches?
You know,
Maybe
come to
singles
find
matches?
out, the firm has faced them before, but we've actually,
Yeah.
the Hustle and Muscle have never fought. American
Okay.
American.
Okay.
Yeah.
Been in many
Wow.
locker rooms.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're moving all over the country, really, these days. Not just the Northeast or New
Yeah, they're
England. I mean,
holding a lot of gold, and
yeah,
someone should take it away from them. Someone.
that's
Or not.
Someone should take it away from them.
Maybe Hustle and Muscle? Ooh. Oh,
I'd love to see it. I'd love to see that match. Yeah,
Hey,
I'd
so
love
do
to
we.
see it too.
yeah. Move this way.
Bobby!
Move that way a little bit.
Bobby!
The phone lines are open.
The phone lines are open.
There you go.
Press, what is it? 00 before you call me or whatever. Call collect, baby. No one's old enough to know what that is. But call me collect.
That's a different time period when nobody knows what the hell that is anymore. It's 2023. All these kids today have no idea what the hell's going on.
It's true.
It's sad. All these kids with their cell phones, crazy.
But hey, you know what the great thing about a kid having a cell phone is? He can pull up any hustle and muscle match
on
See the
YouTube.
greatness that is Jay Bricks and Richard E. Stone Esquire.
Speaking of which, there's plenty of them on my YouTube channel, so you should all go check them out.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should.
You know why? Because Rick gets it. Rick's a good one.
I do.
Rick,
I do.
Rick.
Yeah.
You're one of the good ones.
That's right.
Yeah. Well.
So far, the only good one.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you. I'm glad to be in that elite. Eliteness.
Yeah. So quit while you're ahead. Go ahead. Get it. You got 2 questions left. What you got?
2 questions left. What does the rest of 2023 hold for Hustle and Muscle? It's there's still a whole half a year.
We're gonna take this. We're gonna do a little copy paste. So
Copy paste.
Here. You know, on the other arm, we'll just keep collecting gold
I'm happy to see it.
and wrestle in the top competition.
Yeah.
In the Northeast and more.
Send them.
Or
Well,
send us.
Great, man. I want to thank you guys. Is there anything else you want to throw? Why don't you put out the social media so people could find you guys?
2 questions. This guy does not listen.
You know, Rick,
What
Go ahead.
what did I wrong? What did I wrong? What the social media question doesn't count?
Oh, I guess.
You know.
The lawyer in me has to agree.
Yeah.
See. I knew you were one of the good lawyers.
On Instagram, and you can find us on. I think that's it.
You guys have
we're Hustle Muscle on Instagram. I'm Jay Bricks, JAYBRY on everything.
And I have Richard E. Stone Esquire, RES_Esquire on Instagram.
Excellent, guys. Thank you very much for joining. And obviously, you're gonna have to come back towards the end of the year after you guys capture 13 other gold championships. How's that sound?
I like the way this guy talks.
See,
There you go, guys.
That's right.
Yeah, we need to get this guy a shirt. Yeah.
I got a shirt.
Rick! Good guy, Rick.
Listen. Yeah.
Kincaid can learn a lot from you.
Yeah, well,
Kincaid, man.
we're different. We're 2 different types, for the show.
You're good. He's not.
Yeah,
I get it.
I hate him.
Oh,